high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. Almost kicked the yoga block. High knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last one, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. I was just thinking, the reason why I was giggling a little bit just now was if I didn't have this live, there's just no chance I would go through 10 reps of hip curls every single day because it's a lot. All right, let's keep going. Keep on warming up this other leg. All right, stand nice and straight. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 1 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5 high knee. Open. Down and back. Sorry, rotate. Down and back. That's 6 knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 7 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9 high knee. Open, down and back, and that is 10. And the reason why I wouldn't be doing them all the time is because not because they're not good for you, not because they're an ineffective exercise, an ineffective warm up. They're actually really good for you. Just that they're really difficult. I would probably typically take the shortcut, just jump around a little bit, and then start stretching. Let's continue. Let's finish up with some reverse hip cars. All right, let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Realistically, those shortcuts probably wouldn't actually warm up my hips very much. I'd just feel like, yeah, it's enough, and then I'd move on. And so, especially if you're just starting, if you're a beginner, being a little bit more thorough with your warm up is going to be better than being a little excited about the actual hardcore exercises that you're here for. Because your body needs the time to get ready. All right. I have no idea how many of these we've done. I'm going to pretend it's 5. All right. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 10. Oh. Whew. Take a second, breathe, relax, chill, shake it out, and oh, we got a question. Book says, "Where are we today?" I'm at my friend's house. I'm in his living room, and somebody came in with all caps. Dang! Look at that strength. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is not a strength show though. This is all about hip mobility and moving a little bit better. So if you want to do that for yourself, we do this every single day. Keep on coming back and hang out. Cool. This is the very beginning of our show, by the way. This is our first warm-up exercise. Yeah, one more leg to do. So when you're ready, let's finish up this leg. I'm gonna look at the chat again real soon. Okay. Let's go. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg back behind you, lift that leg up to the side. Get your ankle and your knee horizontal. Then I want you to rotate, bring the knee down, lift the ankle up. When you're feeling your hamstrings contracting, switch it up. Bring the ankle down, bring the knee up, and bring the whole thing forward. That is 1. We got 10-ish to do. All right. If you want to count that as 1 and just do 9, fine. But if you want to do all 10, great. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 5, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 6, keep going. Really focus on lifting that leg back behind you, bring it up as high as you can, feel that muscle contract right here, rotate, 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 feel those muscles contracting, fight it, and bring that knee to the front, that's 7, 3 more, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. If you're joining in for the first time, those were called hip CARs. CAR stands for controlled articulated rotations. And they're all about taking your legs, bringing them through crazy ranges of motion so that you build strength and build control in your muscles. And even though I've been doing this every day for like hundreds of days, I still get out of breath doing them. All right, I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat. It looks like it's going off. Whew, knock this is. I think I died. Can't breathe. Me too. Me too. It says, I swear I can't see. If you need to sit down, please, please sit down. Ah, knock this is. I'm cooking right now, bro. I don't know how you're typing so fast. If you're cooking, man, your fingers are moving pretty fast. All right, all right. That is the first warm-up exercise. Let's get ready to move on into warm-up exercise number 2. Hey, Keisha, welcome back. Keisha says, "Good evening, Splits with Chicken's crew." Thank you, Keisha. Keisha's on YouTube. I have 2 lives running simultaneously for anybody who's just popped in. We got one coming in from TikTok and one over here for YouTube. And I am slowing down, not this. I'm chilled out. We're gonna take a chiller from here, I promise. All right, let's go. We're already 10 minutes deep. Okay. We're going to move on into some elephant walks. All right. What I want you to do is fold at the hips and bring your belly button down towards the ground. And try your best to fold forward. If you're a little bit more tight, you can't fold as far forward, that's okay. Just focus on relaxing wherever it is that you do get to. All right. Inhale, exhale. Chill, relax. Take another breath in. Inhale, exhale. Whew. All right. That's enough relaxing. It's time to move. All right, we're gonna bend one knee. We're gonna straighten out the other leg. We're gonna fold the belly button down into the ground. We're gonna switch from side to side. All right. So boom, switch to the other side. Pause. Breathe. Boom. Switch to the other side. Pause. Breathe. Feel that stretch building in your hamstring muscles. Going. Ooh. Experiment. Widen your stance. Bring your feet out further apart to see if you find a more comfortable way of doing these. And keep going. There's not an exact number we're going to do because I'm going to spend some time telling you about the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're putting ourselves through, that we will continue to put ourselves through, a little bit more fun, a little easier to stay consistent with. All right. So if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you want a little bit of help practicing consistency, this is a show you should keep coming back to. Hit follow, hit subscribe, and set some calendar events, set an alarm, do all those cool things, and stick around because we got a whole bunch more show to go. This show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time every single day. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, we start about 12 minutes ago. All right, whatever the time that is, that's when we start every single day, Monday through Sunday. All right, now that you know what the show's about, let's move on. I want you to focus on your belly button. I want you to focus on folding a little bit deeper. Bring your belly button down towards the ground, all right? Keep bending. Bend one knee. Straighten out the other leg. Bend some more. We're going to do 5 more. 5, 4. Keep focusing on folding. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a squat. Come back into standing. That is our elephant walks. Warm-up exercise number 2. Hopefully, your hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser. Your low back maybe also a tiny bit looser. We're going to work on some thoracic rotation next. That is rotation in the spine. All right. The thoracic spine is below the neck and pretty much around the belly button, sort of this chunk of your back. And we're going to get back into our elephant walk position to do this next warm up. All right. I want you to bend one knee. I want you to straighten out the other leg. I want you to fold forward, bring the belly button down. Then we're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off this bone, the shin bone, to help open up our chest. We're rotating. All right. From here, I want you to stick your arm up into the air, the one that's not pushing off your shin bone. I want you to rotate your neck to look at the hand. And I want you to breathe. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. Ooh, that is half a rep. We got to do the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This arm from the bent leg side is going across to the straight leg side. We're pushing off that leg, opening up, rotating. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total. You don't have to go as fast as I do. Take your time, breathe, chill, really exhale a whole bunch of air out of your lungs as you rotate. That will help take the pressure out of your chest and let you squish a little bit more. All right, let's go. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up, look at the hand, inhale, exhale, reach. That's 2 for one side. Let's go finish off the other side. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. And 3, 4. Let's do it. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. Other side. And inhale. Exhale, reach. All right, fifth and final one. We're doing it from the top. We're going to bend one leg. We're going to straighten out the other. We're going to take the arm from the bent leg side, reach it across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that shin to open up our chest. We're looking up at our hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. That is 5. And 5. Whew. That is some thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your shoulders, your back are feeling a little crazy right now, but slowly get looser and looser and looser, and you start shaking out your body, you start flopping, wiggling, and take advantage of the mobility we just sort of unlocked, at least for the next couple of minutes. All right? Shake out your body, shake out your legs, shake out your arms, shake, 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 shake. Remember, this is the warm up. We're going to move on now into our fourth and final warm-up exercise. We're ready for some Cossack switches. All right? If you've never done any of these before, don't worry. I'll try to give a bunch of variations throughout the whole thing, but it will look really hard right off the bat. All right? But I will change it up. I'll give you some variations for it. All right? What we're going to do looks a little bit like this. We're going to drop down into a deep squat on one leg. We're going to extend the other leg out as far as we can, like we're doing a side split. All right? Deep squat on one side, side split on the other. If you're able to get super low, amazing. But for most people, you'll probably be somewhere closer to here, a little bit higher up. All right? Wherever you are, wherever is the deepest that you can go, that's perfectly fine. That's where I want you to be. All right? Wherever you are, our next step is to move our butts that away. All right? If you're higher up, it might look a little bit like this. If you're a little lower to the ground, you might need to use the floor for a little bit of support. Put your hands down, walk your hands over, bring your butt to the other side, and boom, we are here. From here, I want you to take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. You let gravity pull you down, squish you, and then let's come back over. Hands down on the floor, push yourself back. Again, if you're higher up, you might not even need your hands. Just try your best to come from side to side. If you're somewhere in the middle, you might benefit from having something to push your hands off of. You might want a coffee table, an ottoman, just to have a little bit of hand support so that you can have an easier time going from side to side. All right? Once you've figured out your version, you can stick with that the whole show. But I'm also going to show you a couple of variations to make it a little bit harder, a little more challenging. If you're ready for those, go ahead and jump on in. All right? Let's go. Keep doing what we started with. Get your butt over to the other side however you can, at whatever height you want. That's 2. Come on back and across. That's 3. If you realize you don't need to use your hands, you can just keep going without. Great. That's 4. And come on over. 5. If you want to take it up to the next level, we're going to straighten out our spines. We're going to sit up a little bit taller. We're going to feel some contractions in our lower back. And we're going to stick our hands out to help counterbalance. And we're going to continue. Come on across and back. I just stepped into something that felt like really sharp sand. Looks fine. All right, continue. 7 and 7. At this point, we got 3 reps left. And I'm slowing down intentionally so you guys can rest a little bit while I tell you about our other options. If you're feeling a little discomfort in the knee, you're feeling it right here on the inside, we can change it up a little bit by making it a little easier. Come up a little bit higher, then you can slide across to the other side and then come on down. All right, up, across, and down. That's 8. Up, across, and down. That's 9. Let's finish this up. We usually do some squats, but we'll just do another slide today. Come on, and up, across, and down. Is that 10? We kind of went there, but we didn't come back. Was that me finishing 9? I don't remember. We'll just come up again, across, and down, and up, across, and down. Now we're at 10. All right, that is 10 Cossack switches, 10 Cossack slidey things. We are done with our warm-up. All right, if that sentence scares you, don't be afraid. Don't worry. This is a side splits and hip mobility show. What we did so far was get our muscles warmed up so that when we get into our stretches, they're going to be as loose, as relaxed, as chill as possible so we can get a huge amount of stretch in there, right? What that means is we got a whole bunch of stretches to do, and I want you to go grab some cushioning. We're going to start with our first stretch, the hamstring stretch, kneeling. So I want you to grab a little bit of padding for your knee, all right? You can go ahead and grab a couch cushion, throw that on the ground, get started. You can grab a decorative pillow. If you have some squishy yoga blocks, you can even use that. I don't recommend them because they tend to be way too firm, but if you have a particularly cheap one that is a little too squishy, feel free to use it. I have a yoga mat that has been rolled up a little bit and not well. That's my bed. It's okay. I'm gonna kneel on that. All right. Usually, when I tell you about this, I've also told you a little bit about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every day, so make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We started about 20 minutes ago, so whatever time that is for you, we do this every single day, Monday through Sunday, and we're moving on into our stretches, starting with the hamstring stretch. All right. If it is interesting, make sure to keep hanging out, get some stretching done. If it is not, you can leave anytime, no pressure. All right, we're going to do some hamstring stretches. I want you to kneel and kneel up straight. All right, knees to your hips, hips to your shoulders, shoulders to your head, straight up and down. We're going to extend one leg. Oh, I'm off balance. We're going to extend one leg out in front of us while maintaining this nice straight line. Then we're going to focus on the belly button. We're going to bring it down to the thigh as best as we can, and we're going to fold. All right. As soon as you get stuck, just relax, breathe, and chill. And we'll talk about the next step when we get there. All right? Let's go. Fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whew. As soon as you get stuck, we're going to inhale and relax. I'm going to let you flop over your leg. All right? Big breath in. Relax. Whew. Flop over that leg. Let's do a second one. Inhale. Relax. Whew. That's 2. Let's go for number 3 already. Let's go. Big breath in. Exhale. Whew. That is 3. Now, we're going to practice the skill of folding forward, all right? Remember, the goal of this hamstring stretch is to bring your upper body to touch your legs. It's crazy. It's really far, but there's a version you can probably get pretty close to, and that looks like this. We're going to bring the knee up. We're going to try and fold our chest down to that leg, all right? If you can't quite get there yet, that's okay, but I want you to try your best to fold that chest down to touch the thigh, all right? This is the position that we eventually want to get into, except our leg is straight, right? Not just stuck here. But when your knee is bent, it reduces the hamstring stretch. It lets you focus on the folding portion, which is very important, all right? When you have brought your knee up and your chest down, I want you to slowly straighten out that leg again and get back into our stretch. All right? I want you to do this 5 times. So 4 more times. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Each time you come up, see if you can lift your knee a little less high, if you can fold a little further down, and if you can straighten up that leg while being folded even more forward than before. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. That's just what we want you to aspire to work towards. All right. Once you've done about 5, I'm pretty sure I've done more than 5. We're gonna fold a little bit deeper. We're gonna take a big breath in. Inhale. Then we're gonna slowly exhale. And while we exhale, we're gonna fold our belly buttons down towards the ground, at least to our thigh. But you can imagine that you're going through it. You're going to the ground. Ah! Okay, cool. Let's do it. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. Woo-hoo-hoo. That should be intense. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go 3rd time. Inhale. Relax. Ooh. Alexa, stop. Wow, that was super scary. Alexa, stop. I gotta be more cautious of my words. I don't know what word set off the listening devices owned by Amazon, but that was scary. All right, let's continue. Give me a heart attack. Oh, because there are huge speakers right here, right next to me. All right, where are we in this movement? I've completely become lost in our workout. What was I saying? Are we folding forward right now? Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg and chill. All right. Once you've chilled a little bit, let's get back to that knee bend, chest down, legs straighten. All right. Knee up, chest down, straighten. We're doing 5 of these. You don't have to go fast. If it feels like I'm going fast, you can just ignore me and go at your own pace. All right. These definitely should not be explosive. We don't want that. That is how you injure yourself. There's no reason to do that fast. All right. Once you've done about 5, you might know what's coming up next. We're going to fold a little deeper. All right. Inhale, exhale, fold. You all ready? Let's do this. Big breath in. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Exhale, 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 exhale. Whew. That is us getting a little bit deeper. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Again, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. 3rd time, inhale, relax. Let your body flop into that leg. And I'm glad listening device did not misunderstand her name for an instruction. Let's continue. Knee up, chest down, straighten. Knee up, chest down, straighten. Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 3. Keep going. 4. Last one. And also, I know I just said you can slow it down as slow as you want, so I'm going to slow it down a little bit too because I just did the first 4 real fast. And 5. All right. Now, it's all optional. We're just going to hang out here. All right. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. If you're a regular, we can take it up to the next level. If you are not a regular, or you just don't plan want to, just chill, relax, breathe, inhale, relax. Let yourself flop into that leg. But if you want to take it up to the next level, I want you to stick your heel into the ground as if you're trying to smush your feet into the ground. You're crushing a bug or something. And we're going to do that for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Don't stop. Just relax that tension. Relax, relax, relax. See if you can fold a little bit deeper into your stretch. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, everybody, we're done. That's it. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. That contraction that we just added, where we try to squish our hamstrings. Sorry, we try to squish our heel into the ground by contracting our hamstrings. That is supposed to help our hamstrings relax even deeper when we relax. Not gonna get too deep into that. Just know that you can try it in the next one. All right, let's go. We have swapped over to the other side, and we're gonna fold forward. Ready? Inhale, exhale, and fold. Ugh. As soon as it gets stuck, we're gonna inhale, relax. You ready? Let's do it. Big breath in. Let your body flop. That's one. Again, inhale. Relax. That's two. Third time, inhale. That's three. Time to bend the knee. Bring the chest down. Straighten the leg. Let's go. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's two. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten out. That's three. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's four. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's five. It's time for us to fold a little bit deeper. Y'all ready? Let's go. Big breath in. Exhale and fold. Slow exhale. All right. Let's do it. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo. And inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale again. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Some more. Third time. Inhale. That's three. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's one. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. At this point, you might have noticed that one of your legs is a little bit more flexible than the other. You might have noticed nothing has changed. Everything feels exactly the same. It's so great. But for a lot of us, you might notice one leg being more flexible than the other. That is totally normal. That's okay. This is why we break it up into two legs doing the stretch, right? Once you're ready, it's time for us to fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. You all ready? Let's do it. Big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold. Fold, fold, fold. Bring that belly button down. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your upper back, in your shoulders, in your head, because you're trying to smash your face into your knee, you're working too hard, relax. All right, inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Second time, inhale, relax. Third time, inhale, relax. And these knee bends are optional. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. I'm going a little bit fast. Again, if you do not want to go that fast, you are free to slow it down a little bit. Hopefully, I talked long enough for you to do that. All right? It's time to straighten out that leg and hold for the last round of 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28. If you're a regular, feel free to keep on chilling, but you can also stick that heel into the ground. 23, 22. We're going to start at 20, 21, 20. Let's go. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Squish that heel into the ground. 12, 11, 10. Relax. 9, 8. Everybody relax. 7, 6. Now see if you can fold a tiny bit deeper. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. Bring that heel in underneath you. For a second, I want you to kneel on both legs. We're not doing anything crazy, but I do want you to flex your glutes. All right. When you fold forward that hard, your glutes tend to get stretched out a little bit. And it takes a second for them to wake back up, for them to contract, which is what we want. So now imagine that you're getting spanked. You go, protect your butt. Now your muscles are working. Next, I want you to pretend you're getting punched. Boom, boom. In the stomach. I want you to flex those abs to defend yourself in. Now your abs, your glutes have woken up. We're ready to move on into stretch number 2. You can get rid of your padding. You don't need it anymore. We are moving on into a butterfly stretch. It looks a little bit like this. I want you to move your butt over to the wall. I want you to bring your feet together, and I want you to bring your feet towards your groin muscles. All right. The goal of the butterfly stretch is to stretch out these groin muscles, and the way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. I want you to get stronger. I want you to have more control of every position that we practice. So I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to flex your outer thigh muscles. I want you to pull your legs down into the ground using your own strength. All right. If you're new to the show, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? What muscles? How are they supposed to what? Don't worry about the details. Just focus on two things. One, you're feeling a contraction here in the inner thigh, in your groin muscles. And two, your knees have moved downwards towards the ground a little bit. All right. As long as that's happening, you're moving in the right direction. Next, we're going to take our hands. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure just inside of the knee. I want you to apply it straight down if you can. And that's going to give you an even more intense stretch in your inner thighs, in your groin. All right. From here, breathe and push. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be fast, but I want you to keep on applying steady pressure. If you're feeling something really sharp, something really intense like pain, stop. You can rest. You don't have to keep going. But if it's just mild discomfort, keep pushing. All right? Apply steady pressure. And on your exhales, when you're breathing, see if you can push a little bit deeper. All right? We're going. 30 seconds. Let's do this. 29. 28. Remember to breathe. Take some nice big breaths. 26. 25. 24. 23. On the exhale, see if you can push your legs down a little deeper. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. I'm slipping real hard today, so I'm try sitting on a little bit of something grippier to see if that helps. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Keep pushing. Keep on stretching. 3. 2. 1. 0. That is our stretch. That is our butterfly. All right. For now, I want you to shake out your wrists nice and gentle. Don't go crazy whipping it back and forth. Your wrists are pretty gentle or pretty fragile. And if you start whipping them too hard, they might get a little irritated with you. When you're done flapping your wrists, I want you to start flapping the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. Get your legs woken up because they were trying real hard to get stretched out. And we're going to move on into stretch number 3, the standing pancake. All right. If you're a regular and you know that you prefer the seated pancake, feel free to get into the seated pancake. If you have some experience with the pancake stretch, feel free to get into whichever version that you like. All right. But if you're new to the show, you don't really have any experience with the pancake, then follow along. We're going to talk about the standing pancake. If you have poor balance and you get lightheaded when you bend over, perhaps you might want to skip this stretch. But try it, see if it causes something weird to happen, and if it does, you can stop. It's not that scary. I'm making it sound really scary. Standing pancake looks like this. We're going to come up in this stand. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. Nothing crazy. 25, 30, 35-ish degrees is fine. All right? From here, I want you to do a little hip wiggle. Make sure your hips don't hurt. And we're going to fold. We're going to bring the belly button down towards the ground. Whee! Ugh. If you're comfortable enough in this position, you can stay balanced. You're going to be fine doing the standing pancake. Cool? This is our starting position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. All right. The goal of this stretch is to bring our whole entire upper body and fold it as far forward in between our legs as possible. For most of us, it's going to be really hard, and that's why we're doing the standing version, because when you're standing, gravity is really helping pull you down deeper into the stretch. So to make this stretch a little bit more intense, you can stick your arms out in front of you so that your biceps are by your ears, and you can hold something in your hands if that's not enough for you and you want to suffer a little bit more. All right. Once you are folding nice and deep and far forward, you can add a couple of things to make it a little bit more intense. You can stick your butt back a little bit. All right. When your butt is a little further back behind you, your chest will come a little bit higher up, and you'll be able to focus on trying to fold even deeper without your hands smashing into the ground or your face smashing into the ground. So that little tiny tweak might help. And finally, the most intense, painful part of this whole entire thing, you can open up your legs and go a little wider. All right? Most of those are optional. The only thing that's important is that you're folding forward. All right? When you're ready, get into whatever position you'd like for you, and we're going to try our best to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. All right, belly button down, belly button down, belly button down, belly button down. Inhale, exhale, belly button down. Now, depending on how you want to get into the stretch, get into position. Open up those legs, stick the booty back, hands up in front of you, hold a weight 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. You can always put your hands down for a little bit of support if you're feeling like you're out of control. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pancake. Ooh. Put your hands down in between your legs somewhere. Slowly wiggle your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels together so that your legs are back into a standing-ish position. Slowly walk your hands up your thighs so that you can come out of that forward fold. That is our standing pancake. Breathe, catch your breath. The standing pancake is one of the most intense stretches in our show, and it is quite possibly one of the reasons why we do our hamstring stretch for as long as we do. It is because we're combining that hamstring stretch, that forward fold, with the wide leg position. All right. When you're focused and stuck on folding forward, it's going to be much harder for your legs to get into a wider position for you to stretch the inner thighs, which is a core part of the pancake. If you're new to the show, don't worry about the inner thighs. Focus on practicing the position, getting comfortable folding forward and balancing and letting gravity pull you down. But if you've been here for a while, you know the goal is to fold. All right. All right, catch your breath. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. You got the option between the figure four or the pigeon stretch. All right. I'm pretty sure last night we did the pigeon, so today is time for some figure four. Both stretches have the same fundamentals. They look a little bit like this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, we're grabbing the leg, we're bringing the belly button down to the ankle, we're bringing the ankle up to the belly button. We're feeling the stretch right here in the side of the hip. This is a glute muscle. You're going to feel probably some contraction right here in the hamstrings. Your hamstrings are the muscle in the back of your leg, but when you are doing the pigeon, when your leg is rotated like this, it's going to be on the inside here. All right. If you're regular, feel free to jump into whichever version you prefer, figure four or the pigeon. But if you're new or you want to follow along with me, we're doing the figure four and we're getting down to the ground and laying on our backs. All right. Let's go. Oh, wow, that's nice. Take a couple of breaths on the floor here. Don't fall asleep. I know it's relaxing. It's nice. And let's get ready to go. We're going to cross one leg over to the other side. We're going to make this triangle right here. All right. I want you to stick an arm through the triangle and stick the other arm around the outside and grab that knee that is not crossed. All right. There's only one arm orientation, one arm combination that actually works for. So just sweep your arms out and I want you to grab that knee. All right. From here, try your best to just kind of lean back and enjoy the stretch. And over the next couple of breaths, I want you to pull your leg in towards your chest. All right, inhale, exhale, and pull. That's one. Inhale, exhale, and pull. That's two. Let's go for a third. Inhale, exhale, and pull. Three. Feel that stretch building. And we're going to start our countdown. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. If you're feeling a whole bunch of tension, a little achiness in this knee, I recommend you just cup it with your hands or cup it into your elbow pit and pull on it directly. All right. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Oh, I'm toppling over. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 1, 0. Oh. All right, relax everything. Flop. All right, time to switch to the other side. I forgot to check back at the angle of the camera to see if I was even in shot. So I was trying to crawl while we were upside down. All right, let's continue. Let's do the other leg. Cross one leg. Stick your arms through the triangle and around the other leg. And let's get ready to pull the leg in towards our chest. Inhale. Exhale. Pull that leg in. See if you can lean back so that your whole back, your neck is laying down, your head is resting on the floor. Inhale. Exhale. That's two. Inhale. Exhale. That's three. All right. Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Again, you can cup the knee to support it a little bit directly. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. Sorry, that's our figure four stretch. Excuse me. That is stretch number four. We have a total of five stretches. That means that we are moving on to our fifth and final stretch right now. Congratulations, we are most of the way through our show. If you don't know what the show is about, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency to. I just saw a comment that said you triggered my home smart device. uh, and I couldn't help laughing. But this show is about practicing consistency, working on your hip mobility, working on your side splits. So if you like the combination of those three things, maybe two out of three, maybe even one out of three, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We're gonna move on into our fifth stretch. We're doing some side splits. All right. And if you've never done one before, don't worry. We're gonna break it down into lots of little pieces. But I do want you to grab some tools. I need you to grab something to support your hands. All right. I am going to use some yoga blocks, but you guys at home, maybe you don't have yoga blocks. What can you use? You can grab a chair, you can grab a stool, you can use a coffee table or an ottoman like this thing right here that is blocking part of your view. And the goal of whatever you grab is to help you get into this position. Your hands are going to be on your hand support, your ottoman, your stool, your chair, your yoga blocks, and your legs are going to open up a little wider. All right. The goal here is to give yourself support. So we want it to be relatively stable and preferably not flail around too much. We want it to be lightweight enough for you to move in and out of the way. And I want you to be comfortable enough with it that you can get comfortable so we can relax into a deeper stretch. All right. So go grab something. I'm going to go grab a chair real quick just to show you a slightly different way of doing it. And, ooh, is there something under this chair? Boom. Here's a chair. All right. Remember, the goal is to have something sturdy, stable that you can put your hands on so that you can bring your legs out a little wider and get yourself into a position where your body weight is being supported by your hands. Cool? If this chair is getting a little too high for you because you find that you're super flexible, feel free to stick your elbows down on it instead of putting your palms down like this. All right? Now, I'm going to get rid of the chair because it takes up so much space. All right? You at home can feel free to use whatever you want as long as it's stable, as long as it's sturdy. All right? We're going to begin. So hopefully, after all that talking, you have grabbed whatever it is you need to get into your side splits. We're going to put that just a couple of inches in front of us. Then we're going to move to a wall. I want you to rest your butt against the wall. Butt is touching the wall. The wall is your new best friend. It's going to keep you safe. It's going to keep you supported. So get close to that wall. All right? Take a tiny baby step, like half a little tiny step. And then we're going to open up our legs. All right? I want you to fold forward, bring the belly button down towards the ground, and I want you to put your hands on your hand support. From here, we're like one third of the way done. This is like really good progress already. And we're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. All right? This is what the hand support's for, and this is what the butt support is for. You can rest your butt against the wall. You can put your hands on your hand support. You can let your legs come a little wider. From here, once you're in a comfortable spot, I want you to rotate your legs. All right? There is a knobby bunch of bone right here on the edge of our thigh bone. If you just try to lift your legs up super high to the side, that nubby part of your thigh bone is going to smash into your hips. We don't want that. because it's going to make it hurt. So what we do is rotate the leg so that the nubby part goes backwards, goes behind us, goes into the backside. All right, and it looks like this. Boom. The heel is down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. We're going to do the other side. Heels down, toes up, knees up. All right. While your hands are down on your hand support, see if you can let your legs go a little bit wider. While your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. From here, rest your butt against the wall. Heels are down. Hands are on your hand support. I want you to find a comfortable position where you feel like you're not slipping, where you feel like you're in control, where you feel like you're not about to tip over, you're not about to fall over. All right. The reason why this is important is because if you're feeling like you're in control, you're feeling comfortable more or less, it's going to be much easier for you to relax your muscles. If you are tense because you're like, oh man, I'm about to slip, or oh man, I'm about to fall, those muscles are going to be so tense you're not relaxing, you're not going to be going anywhere. All right, so take your time, adjust, wiggle, find a comfortable spot where you feel like you got this, and we're going to chill, we're going to breathe. All right, let's do it. Inhale, hold. Slowly exhale. Let's see if you can relax a tiny bit deeper into your stretch. You don't have to, just see if you can. Inhale, hold, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go. Third time. Inhale, hold, relax. All right. Once you're a little deeper into your stretch, if you want to, this is optional, you can try to do a little wiggle to the right, little wiggle to the left, little wiggle to the right, little wiggle to the left. See if you can get a little bit deeper. If you can, great. If you can't, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's continue. From here, you can keep your hands on your hand support. If your hand support is nice and easy enough to move away, feel free to toss it to the side. If your hands can reach the floor, it is up to you. All right. We are in our side split. And all we got left is I was trying to decide whether or not to toss it out of the way, and now it's just getting in the way. Ugh, get out of here. All right. Now we have our heels pointing up, our toes pointing up. Sorry, our heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up, and the top of our head should be pointing up. This is our side split position. From here, we're ready to start. We're just going to have 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Now I'm regretting getting rid of my hand support because I want to use it to stand up a little straighter. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Oof. Bring your legs in underneath you if you can. And find a chill, relaxing position to hang out in. That is our first side split. I grab my yoga blocks, get them a little bit closer, set them up so it's ready for the next side split. If you've never been on the show before, we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. That was round 1. We got 2 more rounds to do, so let's shake it out, all right? Slowly come back into standing, and I want you to shake out your ankles. Give it a nice, gentle shake and flop. Try to let your legs relax. The faster your ankles are shaken, the wider and crazier the range of motion you're reaching, the more relaxed a whole bunch of the muscles in your leg is going to be. Or the legs muscles in your leg are going to. The muscles in your leg are going to be. And switch to the other side. Shake out your leg. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake some more. Shakety, shake, 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 shake. And let the leg muscles relax. All right. The goal of this relaxation is to help undo some of that tension that we put into them from the stretch and take a couple of quick steps. If your legs are moving a little bit smoother and you're ready to move on, let's go ahead and move on into our hips. I want you to put all your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe of the other leg down, and I want you to get into this position. All right? I want you to point that knee this way, and I want you to really focus on bringing that knee in as far as you can and then bring it back out wide as far as you can. You're gonna contract muscles here in the front of the hip. You're gonna contract some muscles sort of out here in the glute, and we're gonna bring the knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. And if you're a little bit more of a regular, you've been doing this for a while, you're gonna start shaking a little faster, shaking a little harder. Shake, 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 shake. You don't have to do the full range of motion. You can kind of find a halfway point, and you can just go. "Ugh." The goal here is once again relaxation. When you get super relaxed, your whole entire thigh will just start vibrating, and that's what we want. All right. If you don't get into it today, don't worry about it. It's not that important. It's just for funsies. Next, all your weight on the other leg. Big toe is down. Focus on building strength and control to start. Bring that knee in. Open it up. Bring that knee in. Open it up. Bring that knee in. Open it up. In, out, in, out, in, out. And let's check it out. You don't have to go as hard. You don't have to go as deep. You can just flop. Floppity, 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 flop, 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 in. My throat is itchy. Hope I didn't inhale some cat fur or something. Whew. All right. Once your body's a little bit more relaxed, we're going to hop into side split number 2. All right. Get your hand support in front of you, butt up against the wall, and let's get ready to go. Open up those legs just a little bit. Bring the hands down onto the hand support. Go a little bit wider, and find that comfortable position to rotate the legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Let the legs go wider if you can. Again, heels are down, butt is against the wall, hands are on your hand support. Find a comfortable, stable position wherever that is for you, where you don't feel like you're about to fall, you don't feel like you're going to tip, where you feel like you're in control. All right. Once you have found your position, we're going to breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale, hold, exhale. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Third time's a charm. Let's do it. Inhale, hold, exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Now it's all optional. If you want, do a little wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left, and see if you can get just a little bit deeper. Now, once you are here, we're ready for the side split. For this variation, we're going to walk our hands forward just a little bit. You can use your hand support. You can just go to the floor if you want, if it works out. You can try to bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, and it's going to look like you're doing a push-up. All right. When you're in this position, your knees and your toes are going to be pointing up at a 45-ish degree angle to the front. It's going to make the stretch feel more intense here in the inner thigh, and that is what we want. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If you're not feeling the stretch in your inner thigh, not enough, you can bend your elbows, and that will put some more weight into your legs. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our second stretch. Whew. Oh, man. That was our second side split. Come back into standing when you can. Shake it out, and let's get ready for stretch number 3. Let's do it. Come on up. Oh. And let's shake out those ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Relax. All right. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And relax. Other leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And relax. You can start adding in a whole bunch of other body parts. It doesn't just have to be your legs. We want the whole body to be chill, whole body to be relaxed, because that tension from one part kind of has this indirect effect of spreading to other parts of the body. So the more you can relax, the easier, the chiller the whole body's going to be. All right. Let's move on to the hips. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down. Focus on contracting those muscles, really rotating at that hip and bring the knees in and out and in and out. And once you've gotten your reps in for strength, for control, you can start taking a chill a little bit more. You can shake a little harder. You can relax. You can flop. You can let your thighs go. And let's switch over to the other side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and shake, 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 flop, 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 flop. Shake out everything. Get ready to finish up with our third and final side split. Relax your whole body, and it's time to go. Take your hand support, bring it in front of you. Rest your butt on the wall. Take half a step forward, open up the legs, and let's get ready to drop. Hand on the hand support, legs going wide. Rotate the legs so that the heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Find a comfortable, deeper spot for you where your butt is resting against the wall. Your hands are on your hand support. You're feeling comfortable. You're feeling supported. You feel like you're in control so that you can relax. All right, let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Third time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. At this point, if you have shifted a lot, you might be in a position where you're not comfortable anymore. Maybe you need to adjust. Maybe you need to find a better position where you don't feel like you're falling over. All right? Go ahead and do that. And if you're ready for more, do a little wiggle while you're at it. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And it's time for a third and final cycle. Get into whichever position that you prefer. You can do the version where we're sitting up straight, our toes and our knees are pointing straight up, our head is going straight up. You can do the version where we walked our hands forward a little bit so that you feel it more in your inner thighs. Pick your poison and let's get ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh man, that's it. We're done. Oh, walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our third and final side split. Oh, oh. We've done all the super hard stuff in the live. Now it's time to shake it out. Relax. We're gonna do a couple of joint checks just to make sure everything is moving well, and then we'll be done. I'll check out the chat, check out the Q&A stuff at the end, and that's what you got to look forward to. So let's come back into standing. Let's shake out our legs and regain some function. All right. Shake out your ankles. I call it the lankles. We combine legs and ankles into one word. Ankles. Shake out your legs. Shake out your ankles. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. You don't have to shake super crazy hard. You also don't have to start super fast and go and flop all over the place. You can start nice and gentle, pick up the intensity when you find it comfortable. All right. Once you're done with one leg, switch on over to the other side. And make sure to breathe. Shake out other stuff while you're at it. Shake out a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. And let's move on to our hips. While you're waiting one leg, big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in and out and 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 in and out. I'm a big believer of doing fun things to make your mobility work for you so it's easier to keep your mobility, so it's easier to stay mobile. All right. We've been working a bunch on this internal external rotation. If you want to turn it into something a little bit more useful, a little bit more fun, a little bit more memorable, you can do the stanky leg. Bend this leg just a little bit, extend that leg out to the side, pull your hands in, and imagine you're dragging your leg in, and we're doing some stanky leg. All right, that is basically just a version of exactly what we were doing. If you want to make it even more like what we were doing, you can go whoosh, throw that leg out, push that leg back into that straightened position, and then go boom, pull that leg in. And you can switch sides. Boom, 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 boom. Have fun with the mobility that you're building. Do cool things with it, and it'll be something you can keep easily forever. All right. It's because you didn't use it that you lost in the first place. All right. So let's get ready to wrap up hip mobility and check out the other leg. In and out and 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 that's probably good. We're gonna move on into our joint checks and we're gonna wrap up. All right. The first thing we're gonna do is called hip circles. They look a little bit like this. I want you to really lean into some extreme angles. Really feel that stretch in your hip, in your glutes, in the muscles around your waist. And I want you to do a couple of circles. Oh. After the side splits, I tend to feel it super hard in the left and right side of the hip. And if you're in the same boat, feel free to spend some extra time leaning off to the right, leaning off to the left, and then those muscles relax a little bit. Switch directions at some point. Oh, and when you're ready to move on, let's do a quick knee. Boom and boom. We're going to finish up with some crazy looking calf raises. All right. I want you to bring your legs about hips width apart, not too close, not too wide, about this wide. We're going to drop into a squat. But we're going to do calf raises from this squat. All right. From here, I want you to lean your chest forward as far that way as you can. Then I want you to take your knees. I want you to point them that way too. All right. Try to get a crazy stretch here in your Achilles tendon, in your calves as you bring your knees forward, as you lean forward as well. And I want you to put your hands down on either side for some support. I want you to notice that your toes are gripping the floor hard, trying to keep you from toppling over. Let's get into some calf raises. Lift those heels, bring them as high as you can. If you can't fold far enough forward, feel free to grab onto something else for support. And try to balance your weight between your big toe and your index toe as you come on up into those calf raises. All right? We're just doing 5, 8, 10, 12, as many as you want, really. And when you're tired, when you're ready to move on, when your calves don't want to do anymore, we can absolutely come to a stop. Oh, what we just did was force our toes and the arch of our foot to work really hard because we leaned really far forward and they had to kick in to keep us from falling on our face, right? We had a crazy stretch in the Achilles tendon in the calves, and then we strengthened the calves by doing those crazy calf raises. The quads were firing and telling us to please stop. Our low backs were probably firing, telling us to please stop because we were bent over trying to fall onto our face, right? And because we were able to do some calf raises in that position, you know, your ankles, your knees, your hips are probably doing okay too. So that is our joint checks. Chances are, if you're able to pull off most of those moves, you are doing pretty good and you can go back to doing whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. I am pretty much ready to wrap. I'm gonna solve a quick puzzle over here on TikTok because it always thinks that I'm a bot after about an hour, and I solved it on the second go around. That is our show. Time for some shameless self promotion. I make a whole bunch of content that is not this live side splits thing. Right now, I'm working on a series where before the final World Cup game, trying to master some football, soccer ball skills. Um, I'm I'm like pretty mediocre, but I'm getting better at juggling, where you use your feet to bounce the soccer ball up and down. Um, I don't have enough control where it like goes where I want to, but I'm athletic enough where I can kick my leg out really far and I can sustain it flying up into the air and then running and trying to keep it in the air. Um, so it's not skill, it's just the brutal, jumpy back and forthiness that I can handle, that my body can handle, that is making that doable. Um, and today I worked on some rainbows where you like grip the ball in with your legs and you kind of like throw it up behind you and then it lands in front of you and it looks really cool. I think that video is out as a trial reel, so you guys probably might not see it just yet, but we're testing to see which one performs better. Anyways, that is coming out any day now. And most of the time, the videos that I make are related to getting a little bit of exercise in without feeling like it's a huge burden on your life. All right. If you got 2 minutes, you're waiting for your coffee to come out the machine. If you got 2 minutes, you're waiting for a microwave to heat up your leftovers. If you've got a couple minutes, waiting for pasta to soften in hot boiling water. That is a perfect amount of time to get a little tiny bit of exercise, right? Most of our stretches we don't do for longer than 30, 45 seconds, right? Even if I count super slow, there's no way it's more than 45 seconds, right? And you're probably suffering through it the whole time, right? 45 seconds, that's all we needed. If you could do calf raises for 2 minutes, that'd be really good for you. They say the calves are like a second heart because they pump so much blood back into the rest of your body. So don't sleep on those. If you could do squats for 2 minutes, that would be an insane amount of squats. If you could do Cossack switches, one of our warm up exercises, for 2 minutes, that would be an absolutely insane amount of Cossack switches. If you weren't here for that, they look a little like this. All right. You got balance, you got strength, you got control at these long, extended ranges. So those are an amazing way to use 2 minutes. All right. Do I expect you to actually spend all of those 2 minutes doing crazy exercises? No, absolutely not. I imagine you'll probably just doom scroll into whatever it is that you're doing, right? And that's fine. That's why you should hit follow, you should hit subscribe so that you doom scroll into my content and that can be a little bit of a reminder that you are able to get like 30 seconds of exercise. Cool? All right. Keisha says, do you think if I hold the split for a minute each set at a time, I can get more progress? Yes. However, you got to make sure that you're able to recover from it. All right. Um, Part of the cons of doing consistency and practicing every single day is when you have built up enough consistency, you might find that the rate of improvement slows down after a while. And that is because in order to maintain the consistency, you can't go too hard, you can't go too intense on any given day, right? When you get progressively deeper into your stretches, to get enough stimulation, to get enough stress on the body to help you adapt, to help strengthen you, to change your stretchingness so that you get deeper into your stretch, you just might need a lot more intensity. And doing that 3 minutes is a lot. It would be a lot. I would actually recommend you break it down to something like 40 seconds of doing that isometric hold, resting for like a minute or two, probably at least a minute, 2 minutes would probably be good. Um, and yeah, that should help strengthen your legs up a little bit faster because you're actually working on them in a more intense way to stimulate the change, right? So yes, however, if you do start taking them a little bit more intensely, then I do recommend you take rest days. Maybe you, if you want to keep on coming to practice consistency, you don't do the side splits at the end every single day. You do one day where you pick up the intensity, take a whole bunch of time with it. While I'm talking, I'm doing the chat. You keep on doing your rounds. And then the next day, you come in and you just skip the side splits so that you have a little bit more time to recover. Most of the rest of the show shouldn't be so brutal on your body that it gets in the way of you doing it every single day. But if you did want to step up your side splits intensity, you might want to consider taking a little bit more time off so that they have more time to recover because you want to be able to recover from the damage you're doing. Cool? I hope that makes sense. I kind of started like repeating myself and then summarizing things that I said, but I hope that makes sense. Okay. What else we got in here? Keisha says, my hips feel buttery for sure. That is the goal. That's good. All right. I'm gonna scroll over onto TikTok and see if there is anything else that we should cover. Erdo3465 said hello on YouTube. All right, TikTok, what's up? We got Jamarcus sending lots of letters. Cool, I guess. Thank you. Hi says thank you. Or sorry, not wait, is it hi? Did I read that right? Yeah, hi with three exclamation points says thank you. You're welcome. And Jamarcus might have sent so many messages that I can't scroll very far back. TikTok does this thing where after a certain number of comments, it kind of just stops loading things that happened in the past. So I'll do my best and see where we get. NASA Bean says, thanks. Great stretch workout. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you had fun. Knock this says, dang, with four G's. What were we doing? Oh no. We were freezing. We had some lag, and then we came back. Thank you for staying on. Thank you for staying around for it, through it. And a lot of people said they were frozen. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Um, I wonder when this happened. Chase says he does Q&A at the end. Noctis says, I don't feel anything in the groin. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Noctis, if you're still on somehow, because there's only like 18 of you left over on TikTok, if you are still on and you're talking about the butterfly stretch, let's talk about that for a second. All right. The goal of the butterfly stretch is to move your butt to the wall first. Actually, let's just talk about. We'll break it down all together. We'll cover it from the very beginning. The way I recommend you get into this stretch is to bring your butt up against a wall or against something very stable that you can lean against. All right. And then once you get there, rest your shoulders, rest your head all up against the wall. Bring your feet together, pull them in. All right. And when you get into this stretch, you should feel muscles kind of get intense down into the groin area. When you're relaxed, you might not feel anything because you're relaxed. But if you apply a little pressure with your hands into the knees, you should start feeling the sensation sort of out here and in the side of the hip. And the further you push that leg down into the ground, you don't have to do both legs at the same time. You can focus on just one at a time. That should help you emphasize the stretch on one leg. That is all you really need to be working on. You don't have to figure out actually like truly the groin area. It's just the general area. When you do both legs at the same time, you're gonna feel it on both sides, and it might feel a little closer to the groin and not just be the inside of your thighs, deep towards your hip. Cool. What else? When you do this, we talked about using your own muscles to bring your knees down into the ground, right? If you flex your glutes, if you flex your outer thighs, you might feel the stretch in your inner thighs a little bit more because you're going to be contracting and firing a whole bunch of other muscles, and that might make the sensation feel a little bit different. All right. I'm gonna just double check back getting as deep as I can for a moment and see if anything else I can talk about. No, I think that's about it. Hope that helps. If you're really not feeling it in the groin, then maybe you're super flexible. Are you able to open up your legs super wide and get your knees really close to the ground? Because if you are, then maybe you're not feeling it in the groin because you're not getting stretched. You're already super flexible. That could totally be a reason. Cool. All right. Ugh. I'm crawling over back to the cameras, look at the chat real quick, and get ready to wrap. Um, Mathis said, never worked this hard and liked it. Good. Good. I'm glad that we could get you working really hard and being happy about it. That, my friend, is really good. All right. The reason why it's really good is because a lot of people will tell you, "Oh, I hate exercise. I get so tired. I'm so sweaty. I feel it's gross." You know, all sorts of reasons why people don't want to exercise, why people don't want to work out. And for a lot of people, building consistency is going to require that you actually like somewhat enjoy it. You know, if it's something you absolutely hate, it's going to be really hard to be consistent about it. And you know, there's only a couple of things in your life that you can really dislike and still go do. One of them being like your job, making money, surviving. That's one of those things. But most of the time, after you go and suffered all day, you don't necessarily want to keep going in your evening and make your hobbies also more things you don't want to do, right? So I'm glad that you're finding that you're working really hard and you're also enjoying it because those are absolutely critical to helping you stay consistent in whatever crazy goal you got. It doesn't have to be this show, this workout. It could be anything. Um, any skill that you're trying to learn, anything you're trying to become better at, you're gonna have lots of ups and downs, right? A lot of it is gonna be full of struggle. When you're trying to learn something, you just can't figure it out. You're just pounding your face into the table, going, "Why can't I figure this out?" When you're having that set of emotions, when you really want to quit, that is when it's gonna be super ultra hard to stay consistent, right? And if somewhere in all this you find, oh, this thing that I'm really struggling with, I actually truly enjoy, that'll make it a little easier to stay consistent. So I'm glad, I'm glad that you're enjoying the workout. Cool. All right. What time is it? It is 75 minutes into live. It is 10:18. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we start, and we go for about an hour 15, hour 20. The first hour is basically the workout. The last 10, 15 minutes is usually just responding to questions and thanking people for thanking me. And so, if you like the idea of working on side splits, working on hip mobility, practicing a little bit of consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. I think that's all I got to talk about. There's nothing left on YouTube, and there is not anything left on TikTok to respond to. So we're gonna wrap. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, struggling, suffering. I hope you're enjoying the life, just like Noctis, and appreciating how hard you are working every single day to do the stretches. If you are feeling like you're at the point where you're super consistent and you want to get a little bit more intense with your side splits, you want to make a little bit more progress, perhaps, just like Keisha is saying in the YouTube chat, send me a message. I'd love to run an experiment and figure out if we can make a slightly more intense version of the show. And if it's filled with people who have done lots and lots and lots of our current show, this 9 p.m. show, then we won't need to do nearly as much explaining and it'll be a lot easier to hop into. And I'd love to try to put that together for us because I need it. One of the reasons why I haven't done very much of it is because the consistency component of this show is really important to me because this is about behavior change. It's about helping people get into exercise, get into stretching, get into fitness, get into trying to incorporate a little bit of movement into their lives. And because it's so important to me, I don't train as hard in the side splits as I probably should at this point to get deeper into my side splits so I can finish my side splits. um, and if there's enough interest, I would be very happy to see if we can hash together some way of working on that. Cool? All right, that's it. Once more, thank you so much for coming and practicing consistency, working on your side splits, and thank you for the live. I appreciate it. Or thank you for the like. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cool. Um, I think I'll be here for like 2 more days. So expect for me to be here in this background for 2 more days, which means we got like 2 more days of chicken content to create and build and take videos and have fun with. So look forward to that too. Cool. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow.